I, 21 male, was a part of the Zapatistas uprising in 1994. To understand why I decided to join this movement, you'll need to understand both my personal history along with the events that led up to the uprising in the first place. So I was born in Chiapas, Mexico. This is on the southeastern part of the country and over by the border of Guatemala. This area used to be empty not that long ago, but now is highly diverse because there's a program Mexico rolled out where poor families were able to move in and they would be able to get land that they could use to live off of and farming. My family is one of the families that took the gamble and decided to move there. However, when they arrived, they soon realized it was going to be difficult to do any farming, mainly because of all the forests that was around us. This meant that we had to resort to logging. But along with logging, we also had to rely on social programs which is offered to us by Mexico. However, we only would be able to receive the benefits of these programs if we voted for the PRI. And the PRI is the main political party in Mexico. And from what my family tells me, this is just the way the things were. Then, in around 1982, when I was 9 years old, debt hit Mexico hard, and this meant that the social programs our family relied on became far less reliable. And this was shown to be true because the state started quietly withdrawing its support from the social programs, which just left us in the dust. Then, in 1982, when I was 16 years old, Mexico put in a forestry ban. This was devastating for my family because we had relied on logging for so long, and they had just taken away our livelihood with no alternative economic options. So that meant that we were still forced to continue logging, but we were under threat of the military. Then, in 1984, when I was 18 years old, I became frustrated with the Mexico and the PRI, so I decided to join the new MOCRI CNPA, which this group of people, they talked about not needing the PRI anymore, and it was for standing up for our land rights and our farming rights, and basically fighting for the livelihood of the Zapatista people. However, despite these efforts, in 1992, Article 27 was reformed so that farmland was now able to be owned by an individual instead of the people, which is what allowed us to get the land that we lived off of in the first place. Obviously, this made the Zapatistas very angry. After the uprising, though, we were able to reach a peace agreement, and this meant that we were now able to build our own governing structure. This governing structure we built is a very slow process, it's inefficient, but it's a way to ensure corruption would not happen because we are always rotating leaders. This allows us to have more control over our lives because we are sick of being controlled by Mexico and the PRI. I've also known that a lot of the women in the area they have been fighting for their rights and they've been able to get those rights more often as well. And then also we have community-run schools, clinics, and other institutions. This allows us to live basically on our own independently of Mexico and the Mexican government. That means that the Zapatista uprising allowed us to become independent and have our own institutions. So this is why I decided to join the uprising in the first place, to fight for our autonomy.